So starting this review on the right foot, the Dye i4 is a phenomenal mask, sold great in the airsoft and paintball world for around a decade because it is a very tight, low-profile mask, very slim, making you a smaller target. Plus, you have this awesome Horizon lens system, and most importantly, breathability is very good in this mask because it's so gosh darn small. Your mouth is pretty much right up against this front vent, so you're breathing outside the mask. But the biggest issue with the i4 is going to be obviously coverage. When you're yelling downfield, your entire jawline is exposed, and you could actually take a paintball right down the suck hole. Right side, he's reloading, push him back in the bunker. While getting shot in the mouth with a paintball could potentially be fatal, I've never heard of that actually happening, but you will get peppered in the jawline pretty frequently with an i4. But that's the main update or upgrade from the i4 to the i5, is that Dye is claiming that it's this many percent larger, but it is clearly larger and will provide more coverage in the jaw and ear region. So other than being larger and giving you more coverage while still using the exact same lens system, so you can transfer over your Horizon 290 lenses, this also added removable replaceable foam, which the i4 does not have. That foam is permanently affixed. You could replace it, I guess, by ripping it out and super gluing some other foam in there, but it's not meant to be replaced, as where you can buy replacement foam on the Dye website and swap it out very easily. You now also have a padded chin strap, more breathability with their Scream system, marketing gimmick name, entire section about breathability, but in my opinion, this actually breathes a little bit less efficient than the i4. But you're also getting compatibility with the Evoke system, which is basically a little computer module that goes in the side of the goggle system and communicates with your Dye and Dye only marker or paintball gun to give you information like a shot counter and what your air pressure's at. Separate video on that device coming in the near future because it's pretty interesting, but it's also very niche, and I feel like it's not really applicable for most paintballers, at least not worth the price. You can also remove the Dye logo on each side, and there is an included GoPro or action cam mount, which I think is really cool. You do have a little bit better soft ears, which have a nice padded strip on the inside, which feels very plush on your cheeks. And the biggest selling factor of this mask, by far, by a large margin, is going to be the GSR Pro Strap. It's got to have some fancy marketing gimmick name. It's patented, baby. It's got to be called something cool. Is the GSR Pro Strap, which is a huge step forward in strap technology, if you want to call it that. Not really technology. Strap designs, which we've been using the same mask strap design for about 30 years. But I really wish that Dye didn't have this locked down so tightly with a patent, because I would love to see other goggle or mask companies start using some type of a strap system like this. Obviously, it couldn't be identical because this is Dye's design, but some type of a padded ratchet mechanism versus two little plastic pull tabs on a elastic band. Now, as for price and where to buy this mask, I would recommend going through Amazon because you have that additional layer of customer support, and Amazon has a no questions asked return policy just like Walmart because they're such a large vendor. So even if Dye tries to shaft you on the warranty, not that I've heard of them doing that, but if they do, you have an additional layer of customer support with Amazon. And as for price, if you're looking for one of the basic colorways or themes, they're around $200, but they could get up to the $240 range for some of the limited edition colorways. As for upgrades or customizability, you of course have a ton of lens options, which we are going to talk about during the lens section. You do also have changeable soft ears, so if they get damaged or you want to change the colors, you can replace the foam for $25. They do have different colors available. If you lose your chin strap, you can get a replacement for $10. However, it does not have that nice little pad that comes with the i5. You're just getting a basic chin strap here. It is a proprietary chin strap as it does snap directly onto the bottom of the foam. So keep that in mind. You can't just buy a generic chin strap off Amazon and, you know, strap that on. And of course, you've got that computer module if you want to run around the field like a cyborg, getting information fed to your ear hole in real time. I'll make a video on it because it is an interesting device. Again, not worth the money for 99% of you watching this video, but there are some use case scenarios, perhaps running drills, where it might make sense. As for the warranty, Dye doesn't really make it simple. Down here at the bottom of their website, there's warranty information, but it just takes you out to a registration form. However, I busted out my shovel and did a little bit of digging on the internet, and it looks as if all Dye products carry a 1-year warranty with a 30-day refund policy, but 1 year is their standardized in-paper warranty policy. So I would assume that would include their goggle systems as well. Now, as for packaging and included accessories with the i5, it is a little bit underwhelming for a $200 to $240 mask. You don't have any kind of hard carrying case, you just have a cardboard box, and you do have a soft carrying bag to take to the field. The outside is polyester, the inside is microfiber lined, and of course you have their catch slogan, designed for the art of weaning, i.e. giving your enemies the wean. Now to tease you a little bit, so this goggle jumps off the shelf and says, pick me, slap me with your wallet. It is cocked in there at an angle on display. The only thing really holding it in place is this little piece of foam. You do have a translucent background sticker, which is actually pretty thick and high quality. And then you have one of the worst instruction manuals I've ever seen. First of all, I don't like manuals that open up like Christopher Columbus's map. Just a simple pamphlet or brochure that scrolls like a book is great. Also, English is buried somewhere in here, right there, I found it. And the pictures are small, non-color, but they are relatively informative and do show you how to swap the lens and foam, but not great. You don't need that. A picture's worth 1,000 words and a video's worth 1,000,000, and that you're watching a video right now. So instruction manual, pop it in the shredder. You don't have any additional lenses in the box, just the one included, which on this model is the yellow or amber, which does add a little bit of a contrast pop. So if you're playing some woods ball or you're playing after dusk where it's a little bit dark out, this actually can help you to see other players on the field. As mentioned earlier, there is a GoPro mount specifically designed to go on each one of these die logos. Just use a knife or flathead screwdriver. Probably not a knife, it's kind of sharp. Fingernail maybe, pop off one of these die jewels, and you're able to pop on an action cam mount, which I think is really cool. Now, as for the cosmetics or appearance of this mask, I will be overlaying some B-roll right now, but I have to say this is a very handsome looking mask. I like this sharp point at the chin, and while the venting doesn't do a great job for breathability, which we'll talk about later, the vent pattern does look cool in my opinion. They call it the scream system, and it makes me want to scream that the breathability's not good because everything else about this mask is. God damn it. But cosmetics or appearance, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. Now let's talk about the lens system. The i4 and i5 are using what's called the Horizon 290 being supposedly the degrees of visibility that you're getting, which is good. 290 is wide. That's a wide field of view. I do like the fact that you can transfer your existing lenses from the i4 to the i5 because that could save you hundreds of dollars. Each one of these lenses are between $40 and $60. Visibility for the clear, smoked, and yellow Horizon lenses are very good. I will say this is a big complaint or gripe of mine. The colored lenses, which do look very cool, like this blue one over here, the blue, red, or any other colors that they offer, actually have a colored tint, and not all masks do that. For example, Virtue's lens system and a couple other companies, their lenses just look smoked or tinted, and you don't actually see the color. You do fully see the blue or red, whatever color with the dye lens system, and because of that, I wouldn't purchase another colored lens system. It does look really cool on the dye, but it really does kill visibility. And also, you do get a nasty glare when playing indoor with artificial lights, and also certain times of day where the sun is almost directly above you, you get like a funky glare that makes it very, very difficult to see. I heard this exact same complaint from Jake over at Team Insanity, awesome paintball channel, and he's right on the money with that. Weird glare on them. You're going to pinch these gray retention tabs, which are on the top, and there's also some twins on the bottom as well. Might need to bend your soft ears. Might need to bend your soft ears out of the way to see them, but you are going to need to pinch those on each side, and you are going to push them forward towards the lens system. So this one is in its locked position, and this one is currently in its unlocked position, with that gray tab pushed forward. Now with the gray tab on the top and bottom pushed forward, you swivel this blue, or cayenne as they call it, plastic tab inward, and that releases your lens on that side. Do the same on the other side. And with both of these tabs released, you can just push the lens system out of the front of the mask, like that. Awesome. I'm gonna give the Horizon lens system on the i5, not talking about it on the i4, specifically the i5, as it is a different process to remove and replace the lenses. I'm gonna give the Horizon lens system for the i5 a 4 out of 5. They get high marks because visibility is very good if you stay with the clear, smoked, or yellow. They have a wide field of view. They are swappable between two models of masks, and there is a huge aftermarket because the i4 has been out forever. There's a ton of third-party options and also authorized dye versions. But the reason this lens system is not getting a perfect 5 out of 5 is the fact that it is not the easiest thing to swap, especially the first few times you change the lenses when all those tabs and clips are very hard because they haven't been loosened up. It can hurt your fingers a little bit.
My fingers hurt.
Oh, well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Anybody else's fingers hurt?
The foam is just held in with clips. You have a little tab here. I recommend starting on one of the edges and just pulling towards you. Be careful not to break the clips, please. As for the foam system, they are quick and easy to pop out. They're $25 to replace. It's pretty soft, supple, and the actual face interface is very comfortable. I know I look ridiculous. You don't have to tell me. Giving the foam 4 out of 5. Now, the most important factor of any mask, other than the fact, does it have a double pane lens and it's not going to fog up on you, is going to be comfort. Now, this is separate from breathability, where that's a separate section. But as far as comfort? Is there clamping force on your temples? How does this GSR ratchet feel on the back of your noggin? How does the foam feel on the front of your face? Pretty amazing with this mask. We're not talking about breathability, that's a separate section, but just for ergonomics, comfort, how this mask feels on your face, well, really my face, but we're gonna share a face for the day. Let's pop this lens back in there. Gotta do the sound effects or it doesn't work. Snapper on in the front. And once your lens is flush, you are going to snap back down these cayenne tabs while you push those retention clips back towards the front like you did before. Told you it wasn't the most easy thing in the world. Thought I was lying to you. Now, comfort is insanely good. That comes down to a couple of factors. First of all, the foam feels great on the front of your face. Then you've got this ratchet strap, the GSR system, which is a game changer. Not only for getting your mask on and off quickly, but also having it secured to your face. I feel a lot more secure having this large padded strap holding the crown of the back of my dome as opposed to a little 2-inch bungee strap. The GSR Pro strap also has a very soft, supple rubber padding on the inside, which feels great. If you haven't seen the GSR Pro strap in action, we're about to remedy that right now. First of all, loosen the strap lefty-loosey or counterclockwise, then pop the goggle system on, and then you simply turn the ratchet strap clockwise. I'm locked in. Then you got your padded chin strap because safety first, and that's kind of becoming mandatory. Awesome, so comfort-wise, fantastic. The soft ears really do hug your ears because you have a nice little padded material. The chin strap is also padded, which I love to see. It is not magnetic, so you are just using a typical clasp design, as opposed to some of the newer masks, which are using a magnetic clasp. But the 3 points of contact on your face, which is going to be the foam on the front, the soft ears on your ears and jawline, and then the GSR Pro strap on the back of your head, make this an extremely comfortable experience, 5 out of 5. Unfortunately, the other factor of comfort is going to be breathability. Paintball's an athletic game. You're running around. Sometimes it's very hard to breathe in these masks. Plus, you're also yelling to communicate with your team, feeding information about enemies moving position up the field and stuff. So things like distortion from shitty ventilation or a bad grill design is a huge con. Unfortunately, breathability with the i5 is going to be a 2 out of 5 for me. There are worse masks out there, but not by much. And this is really surprising because the i4 gets a 5 out of 5 for breathability for me. For one, it's tiny, so your mouth is pretty much breathing out of the bottom of it. This little vent here doesn't look like much, but you can push a shitload of air. Now, to test breathability, I do a couple of things. I jog in place in my living room while saying the alphabet backwards. No alphabet, but I do jog in place in my house to make sure that this is secure on my face. It's not going to move around, and also to test breathability. Am I getting out of breath, fatigued, quicker than I should be? Yeah, I'm old and chubby, but is the mask also cutting my oxygen as well? Yes, it is. 2 out of 5. The breathability on the i5 is just not good. Now we're going to check out the distortion. So I'm going to say a quick phrase. Dorito side, D1, push him back in the bunker, I'm reloading. Dorito side, D1, push him back in the bunker, I'm reloading. Dorito side, D1, push him back in the bunker, I'm reloading. So we'll watch that back and make a judgment, but just hearing myself back, that's another thing I don't like. There's a lot of reverberation with this mask in comparison to the i4, which I didn't really get. Maybe it's because the mask is smaller and the soft ears are pretty much like over your ear holes. As we're here, you have a little bit more room for the acoustics to bleed, your voice to travel up to your ears and to hear yourself repeated back. Breathability, 2 out of 5. Audio with this mask, being able to relay information out of these grills or vents, 3 out of 5. So what is my final verdict with the Dye i5? Basically just big stinky disappointment because this has potential to be the best mask system on the market currently because of the GSR Pro strap. You know, marketing gimmick name aside, it's great. It makes getting the mask on and off super fast, and it's hell of comfortable. Plus, you have protection on the back of your head, too. Not really something I thought about, but when you've been hit on the back of the head on the GSR strap, you think, wow. The only con or downside, other than not including some kind of a hard carrying case, but that's just nitpicky, is going to be the breathability. It's actually pretty piss poor. I gave it a 2 out of 5, and that's being generous. I do like that there is more coverage than the i4. That's great. And it does look good. And it is relatively soft. You might actually get some bounces, perhaps. Probably not. Maybe on the soft ears. I don't like that there's no optional visor system. So if you're playing in the rain or high humidity, there's a chance you fog up. But the biggest con or downside with this mask is just simply going to be the breathability. I feel like I can't breathe well in it. And if you can't breathe well in your mask, you're not going to have a good time because you're not going to be able to do athletic shit like sprint and slide because you're huffing and puffing for air. Plus, this makes communication difficult as I feel little bit muffled when I'm yelling through it. The only person that hears me clearly is me, because all of my sound is getting funneled right back up to my ear holes, which I just don't like. I do genuinely hope that Dye takes the GSR Pro strap and moves that to their next goggle version. I'm assuming it's going to be called the i6. And hopefully that model has better venting or ventilation to where I can breathe better in it, because that would make this potentially the best paintball mask. If you're having no issues with the breathability on this mask and you can breathe just fine out of it, then heck, then this has my full recommendation. Because as you heard with all the other categories, this is a great mask. It's just the goggle doesn't breathe too well for me. Please drop in the comment section below your opinion of the i5, i4, or any mask for that matter. And remember, stay busting balls.